V-mate.
Sharp.
So, Honorable Chair, so I have a very genuine observation. My observation is that we are at this stretch, we are at this point vetting deputy ministers. The normal excuse or cliche has been that, oh, I'm going to support my minister. We are all aware you are going to support your minister. But we also know that you are men and women who have enormous capacity to go and deal with the issues. So my suggestion is that when people are asked questions, they should answer the questions. And when they are unable to, just because they don't really have an idea, they should also say so. And that is fair to the Ghanaian community, instead of the normal excuse that I am going to support a minister. Yes, we know. So do we have to go ahead and vet because you are going to support a minister, or we shouldn't go ahead and vet? And that, I think we should all take a cue respectfully. I believe Dr. Clement Apaak has the capacity to respond to all the questions he's been asked to respond to. So if not, then when energy comes in, he's going to support his minister. So why are we going to ask him questions bordering on energy? If Agri comes, he's going to support his minister. So please, I know, I just want to have this intervention from Chairman.
Honorable Leader, that is what it says in the Constitution. The deputy minister is to go to the ministry to support his minister. If you ask a question and he wants to add more to it, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But that is the job description, is to go and support his minister. So I don't think the nominee will be wrong to say that I'm going to the ministry to support my minister, or whatever the policy direction is what he's going to follow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I do not think that we are at variance. All I'm saying is that all the nominees that come in, they have the capacity to respond to the issues they've been asked. And that is why, in the wisdom of His Excellency the President, he nominated them. So what we are doing here is to test your capacity, or to confirm, basically. Anyway, let me go to my first question. Dr. Clement Apaak, I suggest to you that PTA was never cancelled. What was cancelled was the levy.
Grateful, Mr. Chairman. As far as I know, the decision communicated was that we were no longer going to have PTAs. We're going to have PAs, parent associations. Parent associations. The teachers were not to be part. And the parents could decide to mobilize resources, or, if you like, play the functions that the PTAs that we knew before used to play. But the teachers were not to be part of it. So on that basis, if we say there were no PTAs and therefore we are introducing PTAs, we are right. We are saying parents and teachers can come together, dialogue, discuss, identify issues, and work at them. And it is on that basis that we have said that we are reintroducing PTAs, which is different from PAs. I'm grateful, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable nominee, examination malpractices are rampant in Ghana. They have largely marred the credibility of certificates or academic qualifications. Some people are called doctors when in fact they are not doctors. Some people have just found themselves at certain places because of examination malpractices. I know you are going to support your minister. I'm sure that will be the response. What are you bringing on board personally as someone with capacity? Or what are you going to suggest to your minister to do with reference to the issue at hand? Thank you very much.
I'm grateful, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I am not the minister. I'll be supporting the minister. But having worked on this issue somewhat, if you were to seek my opinion, one of the suggestions I would make would be for us to properly resource WAEC, so that WAEC will be able to recruit and deploy its own invigilators. The other area that I may make a suggestion to the minister about with regards to this issue is for us to dialogue with WAEC to consider the serialization of the questions, so that even in the same exam room, students would answer different questions on the same subject matter, which I think would thwart the effort of what we describe as exam room collusion. Because if all the questions are not the same, it will be difficult for those who collude to promote the malpractices to do so. I'm grateful, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry. Honorable Chair, thank you for the opportunity. I think this is a matter of national importance, and therefore I would like my honorable colleague to know what we have done that they can follow. For example, BEC has gone through serialization. Different examination centers have different questions. That is what led to the situation where malpractice at the BEC level has simply disappeared. But we want them to go further to a point when you will serialize within the exam room. And WAEC exams, certain subjects were serialized the last time. So the ministers of West Africa met about serialization across the countries. So we're on track to going to the WAEC International to make sure that within the classroom, different students will have different arrangement, at least. Your question 1 is my question 20. So that the idea of cheating within the exams room can be eliminated. So there's a way for WAEC to do this, but they also say that they need new equipment to ensure, digitalized equipment to ensure they can serialize. So I felt maybe this will help so that you build on it and take this examination malpractices out of the way. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chairman. A really very good initiative. But would you take on board too the yawning gap between city schools?
Honorable Member.
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to ask any questions
it was a suggestion.
Member around the table.
No, it's a suggestion.
Your questions should be directed.
Thank you so much.
To the nominee. So you are out of order.
Oh. Very well, Chairman. Chairman is an important one. Very important. Yes, can I go ahead?
Honorable Jerry, please continue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. And that's a very good intervention. I pray we take it up. Yes, because the malpractices are becoming way too many. I have, on a few occasions, met with my very hard-working teachers in Wage Agbawe. They've put across a few issues, one of which is their salary. Another is their teaching environment. And you'll be surprised that when I met them, none of them spoke about issues concerning themselves until I probed further. All the issues they raised were issues about their pupils. And I do not know if we have any award or reward system for maybe the best science teacher, the best maths teacher, and then the best female teacher. And issues of transportation. So I have a teacher who travels from Kwabenya to Wage Agbawe every day to come and teach. And they sometimes even come in and they are late. And they think that there are issues with reference to traffic and all. Honorable nominee, I know once again that you are going to support your minister. In this direction, how do you hope to support your minister?
Grateful. Yes, I am obligated to support my minister, and that I will do. But as somebody who is drawn from the academic environment, and as a rural person who represents a rural community, I can appreciate these issues. Matters to do with salary, obviously, have to do with releases on time and payments, and I know that will be dealt with. You are speaking about the quantum. Well, I cannot speak to that. I would make a case if given the opportunity, because I honestly believe that teachers are teachers are the most important in the scheme of affairs. All of us here in gathered are products of teachers. If I had my own pot of resources, I would pay teachers more than any other group of professionals. But I don't. That is my personal opinion. Teaching environment, yes, it needs to be improved. Transportation clearly would enhance the work of the teacher, teaching and learning. I mean, as rural MPs, I can relate to that. I have teachers who live in Sandema and have to come all the way to my village, Doninga, to teach on a daily basis. And sometimes they don't get a means of transport. And when they don't get a means of transport, that means that whole day, the children are going to go without tutoring. And I know that the NDC has a manifesto proposal to support teachers to be able to own their own means of transport. And I hope and pray that we would work with John Dramani Mahama as a nation to implement this policy. It will benefit all of us. I'm grateful.
You see, you have elaborate knowledge on all the things you're talking about. And so I'm very confident when I ask you a question. Although you are going in to support your minister. Doc, just flowing from this, can we consider teacher housing and then the emphasis on transportation? Because I am aware President Kufuor had such a policy for teachers and it was cancelled on the provision of transport to aid teachers for duty purposes or duty-bound purposes. Can we consider that? May you, or are you likely to consider advising your minister on this route?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I will do just that. I'm grateful.
Doc, the NDC's manifesto, laid emphasis on, once voted for, they were going to embark on an emergency infrastructure drive. You remember that? And that what you intend to do is to complete abandoned E-blocks and expand infrastructure in existing SHS and TVET institutions. Please don't forget, my STEM school, which was started by the Honorable Minister here, is almost completed. How do you intend to finish that?
Grateful, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, as the Honorable Member indicated, the NDC presented a manifesto to the people of Ghana on the basis of which they gave your mama and the NDC the mandate. And I believe he will fulfill his promises. The almost complete STEM school in your constituency clearly will not be abandoned. I'm grateful.
Is that an assurance?
It will not be abandoned.
Honorable nominee, I also want to find out, in your view, so I'm indicating or placing emphasis, in your view, as Honorable Dr. Clement Apaak, how would technology be used to enhance service delivery in your ministry, the Ministry of Education, where you are going to assist your minister?
Grateful, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, technology is already playing a very important and significant role in almost every facet of our lives. And the Ministry of Education is no exception. I would support my minister, who himself is technology savvy, having served previously as a Minister for Communication, in whatever way he believes we can deploy technology to improve our services to the good people of Ghana through the ministry as expected. I'm grateful.
So, Doc, do you perchance have any idea of e-learning, and how do you intend to optimize or upgrade that e-learning?
Can you expatiate?
E-learning. So this is where, unless you want me to define what e-learning is to you.
Yes, I'll be most grateful.
Well, e-learning is using technology to provide education to the pupils or to the students. And that also even includes digitalization and the use of technology. So I am asking, with respect to you, how do you intend to optimize or upgrade e-learning in its current form?
I'm grateful, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, this is a policy decision. And since I'm only going to support my minister, it will be inappropriate for me to take the wind out of his sails. As I indicated earlier, the minister himself is very technology savvy. In fact, on this subject matter, I don't think that he will need my guidance at all. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt to lead. And if he needs my support, I'll be available. I'm grateful.
Doc, the teachers' allowance, is it teachers' training allowance, has been scrapped? Is that the case?
Mr. Chair, the teacher trainee allowance has not been scrapped. I'm grateful.
Honorable members, please allow the nominee to answer the question. Thank you.
So, Doc, do you know, or do we have your minister's assurance that it will not be scrapped?
Most grateful, Mr. Chairman. I have no reason to believe that it will be scrapped because the minister has not said it will be scrapped. I'm grateful.
Doc, football in secondary schools and, in fact, sports in general, one of the issues we've had currently with even our main sports is that the way we saw sports when we were growing up is not the same way it is currently patronized. Are you considering any new ways of generating interest in sports at the secondary level, at the basic school level? I mean, just last week, a group in Wager is one of the circuit groups. They had some sports program, but they did not even have any funding to do so. So I had to go in and support. But I want to find out, maybe.
Most grateful, Mr. Chairman. Sports is a very important activity, not just because it keeps us fit, but it's also a source of great entertainment. I have been a sportsman myself. I mean, I played volleyball. One of my playing colleagues is seated right by the chairman. I played football. I played table tennis. My younger brother, who is here, played basketball all the way to the national level. And you are right. It is not the way it used to be. And that should be a cause of worry. My minister is a sports enthusiast himself. He plays football himself. And I think the challenge we face, as you rightly alluded to, is funding and is inadequacy. Given that he's a sports person himself, I believe very strongly that he would find ingenious ways to get private sector involvement to support sports in our schools, even as we look at what we can do to provide some support as a nation for sport and sporting activities to go on in our school system. Sports cannot be neglected. A very important activity that ought to be supported. We all do it. We buy the footballs, the jerseys, and we provide the funding to support the district directorates of education to organize sporting activities. It's a problem that we must look at and address. I'm grateful.
Thank you very much. Dr. Apaak, I wish you very well. I know you are going to the Ministry of Education to fully support your minister. I wish you well in supporting your minister. V-mates.
Shaib, I will support my minister fully. I will support him the Bulsa way.
Thank you very much, Honorable Jerry. I will wrap it up, Honorable Nominee. And I want to draw our attention, the nominee and the nominees to come, those who we're going to see today, and those who are watching us, and honorable members of this committee. I want to draw your attention to Article 79(1) of the Constitution. And with your indulgence, I read, the President may, in consultation with a Minister of State and with the prior approval of Parliament, appoint one or more deputy ministers to assist the minister in the performance of his functions. Our job here as an appointment committee is to vet the nominee who comes before us, his background, experience, competence, and the skills that makes him a good fit for the role that he's been nominated, if this House approves of his nomination. So, to stay within time constraint, it is important, and there is time constraint, it is important that our questions address these areas and the answers from the nominee also respond to these areas. So, to go and support your minister is basically the job that you'll be doing. Of course, you have your own mind, you have your own views, which you may wish to express. But it is not upon you to be here and make policy decisions. That will be going against your minister, the substantive minister, had already been here. In fact, all substantive ministers. And any policy questions that they should address, they have adequately addressed them. So what we have heard here is what you are going to support. This is not just to you, but to all nominees and potential nominees who are to appear before us. Thank you.